Hi students, this is the second of the two videos of the poem Custard the Dragon.
The bravery of each animal. He also talks about the bravery of the dragon. Now let us continue. We are on stanza number 5. Belinda tickled him. She tickled him unmerciful. Ink, blink, and mustard. They rudely called him Percival. They all sat laughing in the little red wagon. The realio, trulio, cowardly dragon. Belinda used to stroke the dragon in a very cruel way. Ink, blink, and mustard made fun of him by comparing him to a knight named Percival, who was thought to be brave but ran away due to lack of courage. They used to tease the dragon while sitting in their little red wagon. So we also learned that they had a wagon which they used to go out. All of them would go like a wagon, and the other creatures would make fun of the dragon for being cowardly. They all sat on the wagon and they made fun of the dragon, called him Percival. Okay. So now let us talk about the literary debate. Belinda giggled till she shook the house, and Blink said "wick," which is giggling for a mouse. Ink and Mustard rudely asked his age, when Custard cried for a nice, safe cage. Giggled means laughed. That is the meaning of giggle, laugh. Weak. Here the meaning is it is a sound made by the mouse. Okay, so the author has used the word weak to talk about the sound made by the mouse. The poet says that Belinda used to laugh so loudly that her voice echoed in the house. Blink. The mouse used to laugh and make a sound of weak. On the other hand, Ink and Blink. On the other hand, Ink and Mustard would tease him by asking the dragon his age whenever he used to demand for a nice, safe cage. Belinda laughed louder. Okay, and the other creatures made fun of him, fun of the sound. Okay, Weak. Winda. Okay, there is also something called consonants. What is the meaning of consonants? Use of consonant sound. Use of consonant sound. There is consonant in suddenly. S is repeated. Okay. Suddenly, they heard a nasty sound. Okay, yes in suddenly, yes in suddenly, yes in nasty, yes. Okay. So there is a consonant. Then you also have got something called onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia here. Okay. Onomatopoeia. What is onomatopoeia? Use of words that create dramatic effect here. Okay, here the onomatopoeia words are growl and meoch. Okay. Then there is also poetic license. Winda is used for window to create the rhyme scheme. Okay, so there is onomatopoeia. Pistol in his left hand, pistol in his right, and he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. His beard was black, one leg was wood. It was clear that the pirates meant no good. Pistol is a handgun. Cutlass is a short sword with a curved blade. It's a knife. Okay. The poet describes the appearance of the pirate. In the previous stanza, we came to know about the entry of the pirate. Here the poet describes the appearance of the pirate. What does he say? He says that the pirate was holding handguns in both the hands. Handguns in both the hands. And had a little sword too. A knife also he had. He was holding his sword in his teeth. He was holding the sword at the teeth. He had a black beard and his one leg was made of wood. This means that though the pirate was a disabled person, he was still frightening all the other creatures. The pirate was a disabled person, but he was frightening all the other creatures. Moreover, he intended to harm them. He said that he would harm all of them. So that is what the pirate said. There is also alliteration. Okay, beard was black. The consonant letter P comes at the beginning of these two words, okay, which are next to each other. Beard and black. So there is alliteration. There is also imagery. What is imagery? Imagery is there when the picture is created in your mind when it is pronounced, when the word is pronounced. An image is created about the appearance of the pirate. There is imagery. This stanza also is over. If there is any doubt, you can ask me. Okay, let's go to the next stanza. Stanza number 9. Belinda, pale, she cried, "Help, help!" But Mustard fled with a terrified yelp. Ink trickled down to the bottom of the household, and a little mouse blinked strategically mousehole. Pale means turn yellow due to fear. We also say, why do you look pale in our language? Why do you look sad, or why are you afraid? Yelp means it is a sound that is made. A sharp cry sound. Trickled, here it means running. Strategically planned. Mousehole, here is used for the place of the mouse, where the mouse stays. You will not get the meaning of this word in the dictionary. It is created by the poet. When all of them saw the pirate, they got frightened. All the animals got frightened when they saw the pirate. Belinda was so frightened that she turned yellow due to fear and started crying for help. Mustard, the dog, started crying for help too. The kitten Ink ran down towards the bottom of the house as if he had already planned for it. The mouse Ink ran into his little mouse hole in order to save himself. So all the other creatures except the dragon went in different directions to save themselves, including Belinda. Belinda was frightened and she said, "Help! Help!" He shouted for help. And all the other animals went around to so many different corners of the room to save themselves. Okay, so the literary scheme is there is something called transferred epithet. What is transferred epithet? Here, terrified yelp, that is a transferred epithet. I want you to understand the meaning of transferred epithet. See, the quality is transferred to something else. Okay, I shall give you some more examples. Noisy road, that is also a transferred epithet. Noisy road. What is noisy road? Noisy road. The road is not noisy. Those who go in the road, those who walk on the road, they make noisy. But the expression is noisy road. Okay, the quality is transferred to something else. So that is a transferred epithet. Some more examples. Silent class. What do you mean by silent class? The class is not silent. The students in the classroom are silent. Okay. So these are some of the examples of transferred epithet. I hope you have understood. Then there is also repetition of the word help. Poetic license also is there. Mousehold is used in the place of household by the poet. So there is poetic license. But up jumped Custard, snorting like an engine, clashed his tail like irons in a dungeon, with a clatter and a clank and a dangling scream. He went at the pirate like a robin at a worm. So here in this stanza, we are studying about how the dragon fought with the pirate and saved everybody. The meaning of the word is snorting, making a sudden explosive sound through one's nose. That's the meaning of snorting. Clashed means fought. Dungeon, which means underground prison. Clatter, clank. They are sound of hard object falling on each other. Jangling scream. Sound of hard object falling on each other. Clatter, clank, jangling scream. Okay, these are similar. Okay, now the explanation of this stanza. When all the other creatures that were earlier defined as very brave got frightened, the dragon did the most unexpected thing. He jumped onto the pirate and made such a strong sound with his nose as if the engine was producing a sound. Not only this, he hit his tail on the ground with great force that it produced a heavy sound of metal being rubbed against each other in the underground prisons. He attacked the pirate just like a robin bird that attacks worms. Okay? So the poet describes how the pirate fought with the dragon fought with the pirate and saved all the other creatures. Okay? The pirate wanted to attack all the other creatures. All the other creatures ran away. Only the dragon was very much confident there and protected everybody. He attacked the pirate just like a robin bird. Robin bird is a bird which catches the worms fast. Just like that, it did it very quickly. Okay, the rhyme scheme is A, B, B, as in all the other stanzas. Engine, dungeon, scream, verb. There is a simile. Sound of dragon is compared with the sound of engine. Snorting like an engine. There is a simile. Clashed his tail like irons in a dungeon. Dragon's attack on pirate is compared to robin bird, like robin at a worm. So there are so many similes also are here. Then you also have got onomatopoeia. Usage of sound words to create a dramatic effect. Flutter, clang, jangling. Okay. Then there is also imagery. The attack by the dragon is expressed in a way to make an image in our mind. So therefore, there is imagery also here in this stanza. Any doubt in the 10th stanza or so far? Okay, let us proceed. Let's go to the 11th stanza. The pirate gaped at Belinda's dragon and gulped some grog from his pocket's flagon. He fired 2 bullets, but they didn't hit, and Custard gobbled him every bit. Gaped means stared with mouth wide open. Gulp means swallow. Grog, it's a drink. Flagon, a container made of silver in which drink is stored. Gobbled, swallowed hurriedly. Okay, eating fast. That's the meaning of gobbled. The pirate got so shocked by the dragon's reaction that he opened his mouth wide with shock. To gather some strength, he drank some alcohol. The pirate Sam drank some alcohol from a container in his pocket. After gathering some courage, he fired 2 bullets on the dragon, but missed it. Custard the dragon with every bit of this fierce-looking pirate, though. Custard ate every bit of the pirate. So there is alliteration here. Gulped some grog, the repetition of the consonant letter G. There is also imagery. They have shown the reaction and actions made by the pirate on seeing the dragon. So there is imagery also here in this stanza. Okay, let's go to the next stanza, stanza number 12. Belinda embraced him, Mustard licked him, no one mourned for his private victim. Ink and blink in glee did gyrate around the dragon that ate the pirate. Embraced, all of you know. Hug. Mourned, feeling sorrow for the death of someone. Victim is the sufferer. Glee is delight. Gyrate means dance. When the pirate was dead, Belinda hugged the dragon and Mustard licked him. No one was sad for the death of the pirate. They all were happy. Both Ink and Blink were running around the dragon in happiness. So here the poet says that all the characters were happy and they were showing their gratitude towards the dragon as he had saved them. Okay. So Belinda was so happy after having been saved by the dragon. She went and hugged, and all the other creatures thanked him, and they danced around him. They danced around the dragon to show their gratitude. Here you have alliteration, glee and gyrate. Then you also have assonance. Assonance is a literary device which we have already learned in the previous poems. Repetition of vowel sound, that is assonance. Okay. Use of vowel sound. O sound is there in no, one, mourned for. Use of vowel sound I in blink and ink, kin and did. Then use of vowel sound in vowel sound A in that, yet and pirate. Okay, so there is assonance. Next we are going to talk about the 13th stanza. But presently up spoke little dog Mustard. I would have been twice as brave if I had been flustered. And up spoke Ink and up spoke Blink. We would have been 3 times as brave. We think, and Custard said, I quite agree that everybody is braver than me. Flustered means upset or confused. In this stanza, we see how other creatures did make fun of him after some time. What do they say? After they thanked and showed their love towards the dragon, they changed their mind. What did they say? They were reminded of how they used to make fun of this covered dragon, and now they all were praising him. They were reminded of how they made fun of him, and they wanted to make fun of him again. So at once the dog said that it was just because of some confusion that he wasn't able to do anything. Otherwise, he would have been twice as brave as Custard. The dog says that he would have been braver than the Custard, braver than the dragon. There was some confusion. Otherwise, he could have dealt with him much better than him. Both Ink and Blink also said that they would have been 3 times braver than Custard. To this, the dragon said that he fully agreed to this, that all of them were more powerful and braver than him. I hope things are clear. Let's go to the last stanza. Belinda still lives in her little white house with her little black kitten and her little grey mouse and her little yellow dog and her little red wagon and her realio trulio little pet dragon. Belinda is as brave as a barrel full of bears. And Ink and Blink chase lions down the stairs. Mustard is as brave as a tiger in a rage. But Custard keeps crying for a nice, safe cage. Okay, at last the poet used the same lines again to show that after the terrific episode in which the dragon was the hero, where all the other characters still undermined him by saying that they were more powerful than him and could have handled the situation in a much better way, the poet says that he started again in the same manner. Belinda still lives in that little white house with Ink, Blink, Mustard and Custard, and all of them are very brave, whereas the dragon is still a coward who always wants to stay safe in his cage. So again, back to the pavilion. What does it mean? Again, the same situation came back again. They all made fun of the dragon and they all claimed that they were brave, they were courageous, more courageous than him. And the poor dragon accepted everything. Okay, the literary devices. You have got repetition here. Okay, stanza has been repeated here. Same stanza has been repeated here. So there is repetition. There is also the refrain, realio and trulio. Okay. So with this we shall complete this poem. Is there any doubt now? I hope things are clear. If there is doubt, you can ask. Now I shall give Madhumita chance to read. After Madhumita, Kirtana Ramesh will read. Read from the beginning. Okay.
Belinda lived in a little white house with a little black kitten and a little grey mouse and a little yellow dog and a little red wagon and a realio trulio little pet dragon. The poet says that once there was a little girl named Belinda. She lived in a little white house. She lived with some creatures who were her pets. They were a black kitten, a grey mouse, a yellow dog, a little red wagon, and a creature that the poet says was really and truly a dragon. Now the name of the little black kitten was Ink, and the little grey mouse, she called him Blink, and the little yellow dog was sharp as mustard, but the dragon was a coward and she called him Custard. The poet explains the name of the animals that are named by Belinda. He says that the name of black kitten is Ink, the name of grey mouse is Blink, the little yellow dog and had a yellow color and she calls him Mustard, and the dragon that was covered means was a weakling was called a Custard. Custard the dragon had a big sharp teeth and spikes on him and scales underneath, mouth like a fireplace, chimney for a nose, and really or truly a dagger on his toes. The poet describes the dragon that it had a big sharp teeth and spikes on the top. This means that its skin was pointed on the top. On the lower part, it had scales which were bony plates to protect the skin. His mouth has been compared to the fireplace because it is assumed that dragons can release fire from the mouth. Even his nose is compared to a chimney which is used to pass out smoke. His feet are like a sharp knife, that is the dagger.
Belinda was as brave as barrel full of beers, and Ink and Blink cast lions down the stairs. Mustard was as brave as tiger in a rage, but Custard cried for a nice safe cage. So now the poet explains the inner strength or bravery of the various characters of the poem. He says that Belinda was as brave as a group of bears, and Ink and Blink were so brave that they could hunt lions. So here he has shown the bravery of the kitten and little mouse that could hunt even a lion. The dog was very brave, just like an angry tiger. But to contrast of all them was a Custard. Custard the dragon was not brave. He was so afraid of everything that he was always demanded a safe cage. Belinda tickled him. He tickled him unmerciful. Ink and Blink and Mustard. They rudely called him Persephone. Then all sat laughing in the little red wagon at the Tulio cowardly dragon. They used to stroke the dragon in a very cruel way. Ink and Blink and Mustard made fun of him by comparing him to a knight named Persephone, who was thought to
Percival. Okay, not Persephone, Percival.
Persephone, who was thought to be brave but ran away due to lack of courage. They used to tease the dragon while sitting in their little red wagon. Little, she shook the house, and Blink said, weak, which is decline for a mouse. Ink and Mustard rudely asked his age, when Custard cried for a nice safe cage. The poet says that Belinda used to laugh so loudly that her voice echoed in the house. Blink, the mouse, used to laugh and make sound of weak. On the other hand, Ink and Mustard would tease him by asking the dragon his age whenever he used to demand for a nice safe cage. Suddenly, they heard a nasty sound, and the Mustard growled, and they all looked around. Meouch, cried Ink, and ho, cried Belinda, for there was a pirate climbing in the window. The sound of someone entering the house. When they looked towards the window, they saw a pirate climbing the wall. The dog barked at him, and kitten meowed to him. Belinda cried, "Oh!" Because of all of them were scared of pirate. In his teeth, cutlass bright. His beard was black. One leg was good. It was clear that pirate meant no good. The poet describes the appearance of the pirate. He says that the pirate was holding hand guns in both of his hands and had a little sword too. He was holding a sword with his teeth. He had a black beard and his one off leg was made of wood. This means that though the pirate was disabled person, but still he was frightening all the other characters. Moreover, he intended to harm them.
Madhumita, continue.
Belinda paled and she cried, "Help, help!" But Mustard, filled with
Leg with leg.
filled with a terrified help, ink trickled down to the bottom of the household, and a little mouse blinked strategically mousehold. When all of them saw the pirate, they got frightened. Belinda was so frightened that she turned yellow due to fear and started crying to help. Mustard the dog started crying for help too. The kitten Ink ran down towards the bottom of the house as if he had already planned for it. The mouse Ink ran into his little mouse hole in order to save himself. Then clashed his tail like ions in a dungeon with a clatter and clank and jangling squeal. He went at the pirate like a robin at a worm.
Read the explanation.
When all other characters that were earlier defined as very brave not got frightened, the dragon did the most unexpected thing. He jumped onto the pirate and made such a strong sound with his nose as if if the engine was producing a sound. Not only this, he hit his tail on the ground with a great force that if he produced a heavy sound or a metal being rubbed against each other in the underground prisons. He attacked the pirate just like a robin bird that attacks the worms. The pirate gaped at Belinda's dragon and gulped some grog from his pocket flagon. He fired 2 bullets, but they didn't hit, and Custard globbed him every bit.
Gobbled him.
The gobbled him every bit. The pirate got so shocked by the dragon's reaction that he opened his mouth wide with shock. To gather some strength, he drank some alcohol from a container in his pocket. After gathering some courage, he fired 2 bullets on the dragon but missed it. Custard the dragon ate every bit of the air. This fierce looking the pirate. Belinda embraced him, Mustard licked him, no one mourned for his pirate victim. Mourned for his pirate victim. Ink and Blink in glee did garret around the dragon that ate the pirate. When the pirate was dead, Belinda hugged the dragon and the Mustard licked him. No one was sad for the death of pirate. They all were happy. Both Ink and Blink were running around the dragon in happiness. So here the poet says that all characters were happy and they were showing their gratitude towards the dragon as he had saved them.
13th paragraph.
But presently up spoke little dog Mustard. I had have been twice as brave if I hadn't been flustered. And up spoke Ink and up spoke Blink. We have been 3 times as brave, we think, and Custard said, I quite agree that everybody is brave than me. After they thanked and showed their love towards the dragon, they changed their minds. They reminded of how they used to make fun of this coward dragon, and now they all were praising him. So at once the dog said that it was just because of some confusions that he wasn't able to do anything otherwise. He would have been twice as brave as Custard. Both Ink and Blink also said that they would have been 3 times braver than Custard. To this, the dragon said that he fully agreed to this, that all of them were powerful and braver than him.
Okay, last stanza.
Belinda still lives in her little white house with her little black kitten and her little grey mouse, and her little yellow dog and a little red wagon. and her really or truly little pet dragon. Belinda is brave as a barrel full of beers, and Ink and Blink chase lions towards the stairs. Mustard is as brave as Tiger in a rage, but Custard keeps crying for a nice, safe cage. At last, the poet used the same lines again to show that after the terrific episode in which the dragon was the hero, where all other characters still undermined him by saying that they were more powerful than him and could have handled the situation in much better way. The poet says that life started again in the same manner. Belinda still lives in the little white house with Blink, Ink, Mustard, and Custard, and all of them were very brave, whereas the dragon is still coward who always wants to stay safe in his cage.